Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Indie Spotlight Network. I am your host, and we are today at Halifax Farm. Now, most of the time you've seen us in the studio, but we're on location today to bring you a special treat. Welcome, Owen Daly.
Well, good to have you here, Ron. It's good to see you here.
First off, you have a very lovely home.
Well, thank you.
And now you have been in the acting world for quite some time.
Yeah.
About how long you think? I'm not trying to say your age or anything, but...
Well, there's no way I can answer that question without giving you a hint on the age. But my first acting gig was as a magazine model when I was 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
And it appeared in Look magazine, which is now, I think, defunct. And then after that, my first stage play was when I was about 9 years old. I played Prince Polly, who was one of the nobles that helped Joan of Arc in her uprising against the powers that be.
Oh, wow.
And I had a very forward-looking and very encouraging fifth grade teacher. His name was Al Cullum, and he wrote a book called Push Back the Desks. And getting kids out there and acting was a big thing.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was
incredible. So you have done quite a bit. I mean, you've done the acting thing, you've done producing, you've done directing. I mean, you've been on both sides of the camera.
Oh, yeah, yes. My focus is on the acting.
Okay.
I got a technical background, so that I do get pulled into the technical stuff sometimes. But the thing that I enjoy, that I spend my time trying to do the most, is the acting.
Oh, well, I guess knowing the technical stuff, it gives you a better understanding to give a better performance then.
Hopefully, yes, because acting is an art, but it's also a craft. Mm-hmm. And part of the craft is being able to work in the artificial situation. I mean, we're on a little set right here, and we built a little set in the house here. Mm-hmm. And there are cameras out there, and I know that there's a camera there and there's a camera there. And now I know that when we're doing the interview, I'm not going to look directly into the camera, because when I'm looking directly into the camera, I'm looking directly at the audience.
Right.
So I've got to be aware, either to intentionally look or not look at the camera. Right. Acting is creating a reality in an unreal situation. And knowing and being familiar with how that unreal situation works allows you to then put it out of your mind and concentrate on your real job, which is being the character.
So you can be better at what it is you do.
I hope so.
Character to life.
I hope so.
Well, you've got two projects coming up right now, right? Weaver and 6 Gold Coins?
We have 2 films that are out. Okay. And these are short films that I did with two different groups. Weaver was done with Karen Morera, and he contacted me because he had a project and he needed someone about my age, and he came out here and did some test shooting, and then we shot the Weaver over 2 or 3 weekends, and we can actually show you some clips for that if you'd like.
That would be absolutely awesome. Hang on, guys, and you'll get a chance to look at that right now. Welcome back, guys. Now, I'm sure that you just saw an incredible clip, but I'm going to bet you noticed something that you didn't hear in most things. There was no dialogue in that movie.
No, I like that a lot because I didn't have to learn any lines.
Oh, wow.
Kieran had the idea to tell the story without words, and I think it worked. I mean, the audience will have their own opinion as to whether the story worked or not. But when you saw that girl in the blue dress get hit by the SUV, I mean, you sort of saw it, but you didn't quite see it, but you knew it happened. Mm-hmm. And then after he does this magical thing, all of a sudden the events re-roll, and then the girl in the blue dress crosses the street safely. And it's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a metaphysical, feel-good kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But when we were working on it, I said, how are you going to make people believe that I'm actually doing something when I'm putting these pieces of cassette tape together? And he said, don't worry about it. I'll make it work. And he did, I think.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, you were also in 6 Gold Coins.
Oh, yeah. That was another one that we can show your audience. Fantastic. Right now. Fantastic. This was a show produced right here in Wake Forest, and it was for a music video for Highway 101, which is a group that's making a comeback. Mm-hmm. And they were doing a Christmas special, and they had this story about 6 gold coins that had appeared in the Salvation Army kettle in Denver. And they searched and finally found out where they came from. And they came from, well, I don't want to tell the story, but right. Why don't we take a look at it? And then
absolutely. Well, guys, hang on just for a second, and we're going to see 6 gold coins.
The Army of Metro Denver has struck gold thanks to an anonymous donor. In the past week, someone left 3 very valuable gold coins at 2 different Salvation Army kettles.
God spread a blanket of fresh snow over Denver, and it hid all the lonesome that a city has to show. Saw my neighbor in his old coat and a brand new pair of used shoes that he bought at the Salvation Army thrift store. He was shuffling down the sidewalk with a meager bag of groceries, being mindful of his front step, 'cause he didn't want to fall. And I yelled, "Hey Joe, Merry Christmas." He just smiled at me and tipped his hat. He went inside, he closed the door, and that was all. I saw the evening news at
Then on Monday, apparently the same donor left a 1904 $20 Liberty gold piece.
In a kettle at a Walmart, or was it Walgreens, I don't know. Said it's probably some rich man just trying to help us all, giving those 6 gold coins. Now my neighbor Joe's a veteran. He retired from the railroad, spent his best years with Martha till she died in 99. I know his pension can't be too much, but he always seems to have enough to save some buying a coffee can till Christmas time. And I watched the evening news at 5. They had a story about finding 6 gold coins in a kettle at a Walmart, and the ringer never saw. Said it's probably some rich dude trying to help us all, giving those 6 gold coins. But I know there's one for the baby who was born dirt poor in a manger, 2 more for his buddies who never made it home, a couple more for family, Martha's corner. On the evening news at 5, they had a story about finding 6 gold coins in a kettle out of Walmart. Or was it Walgreens? I don't know. Yeah, but only me and the angels and John know about the 6 gold coins. 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 God spread a blanket of fresh snow over Denver. For a while, it hid all the lonesome that the city had to show.
Welcome back. Now, I guess it's safe to say that this was more of an emotional kind of piece than
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you'll notice that there were no lines in it either. I had no lines. I actually do have lines in some films. It does happen.
Just not these
and
two.
I've been on stage and I'd had lines, so I can do that. But yeah, it's an emotional film. It's the story. The true story was that the guy that was putting the coins in the kettle was a Vietnam vet, and he was doing it on the meager savings from his pension. And he was doing it in memory of his wife and in memory of his comrades back in Vietnam that didn't make it home.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, this thought that some rich guy was putting money in the thing became a lot deeper and a lot more sentimental.
Absolutely, and I can understand that myself. I am a vet as well, so I can understand why
Yeah.
he would do that.
Yeah.
But that's fantastic. Now, I want to change gears just a
Sure.
little bit here. Now, you've been in the industry for a long time, and you've seen a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, what do you think is the biggest thing that you want to bring out of your career? The one thing that you want to be remembered for?
My ambition was always to be a working actor.
Okay.
If I became a great star and everybody knew me, that would be fine. You deal with that. But my ambition was always to have parts in plays and in films, and to become that character and make that character real for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly don't know why that is what has always drawn me, but that's it. And most of the time, there are thousands and thousands of working actors out there, and they are the people that make us believe what we see on the screen and on stage,
Right.
and bring to us those emotional and thoughts that the playwright and the screenwriter are trying to bring to an audience. They enrich the world, and I want to do my small part doing that.
What would be a piece of advice, if you will, something that you would want to give to somebody who's just now coming into it saying, Owen, what should I do?
Easy. There was a guy that came over to the house yesterday because some people had told him he has a good voice, and he met Susan, and Susan said, come on, Owen will show you how to do the recorded books and do voiceovers. And we sat down, and I showed him some of the technical stuff and some of the production stuff. And then I basically, but the main piece of advice for him and for anybody that wants to get into the performing arts is to do it. Take any opportunity you have, or any that you can find, and get on stage, do the part, work with the best people you can, and keep your eyes open. And always in the back of your mind, when I do a performance, there's always a period of time when I'm sort of looking at it and trying to say, okay, how could this be better? What did I miss? Where did I not convey what I was trying to convey? And that's easy to do on film because there's a finished product. On stage, it's a little harder because you sort of have to work with the feelings you get from the audience, and what seems to have communicated and what didn't.
Well, do you have a preference then as far as being either theater or film?
I like them both. Theater is more immediate and more time-consuming with the rehearsal periods and blocking out time. So theater in my book right now is a luxury. It's something that I do when I can make the time, and it's something that I really do love to do. Doing films and industrials and commercials and everything that makes up the life of a working actor, that's what my main concentration is.
And then I do want to ask you this question. It's in reference to the film incentive in North Carolina. I know, and that's where we get. And not going deep into it or anything, or go as deep as you want, I guess. Yeah. But a lot of opportunities are no longer here in North Carolina. They may be coming back, but who knows? For somebody new in North Carolina, what would you want to tell them about how that all works together with the film industry?
Film industry is the film and acting as a whole, but the film industry is a very collaborative art. And the way good things happen is you get good people together working on a project. And what the film industry grew to in North Carolina was a whole lot of professional people based largely out of Wilmington, but a surprising amount here in Raleigh and out at Winston-Salem and Charlotte as well, and scattered all around the state. A surprisingly large amount of people that were very good, that were professional crew, professional actors. And so the whole independent film scene benefited hugely from that, because you had all of these professional crew members that weren't working this weekend, and they could work on your indie film. So all of a sudden you had a DP that was, top notch, a director of photography that was doing, network television and films. And he was working on your indie thing because he had the time and he loves doing it. Well, those guys are mostly gone now, because the number of professional productions in North Carolina have decreased from 15, 10, whatever it was on average per year, down to 1 or 2. So I know that Wilmington, for example, is hollowed out of the crew base. And I know friends of mine that are actors that are either commuting or thinking of moving to Atlanta, because that's where all the film work that was in North Carolina, or the majority of it was. So not only do the big budget films not come here, but the excitement and energy around the smaller independent films and all the little production companies, they also suffer. And I'm talking about it from an artistic point of view, but from a purely financial point of view, the getting rid of the film incentive it's like shooting yourself in the foot. The amount of money that we gave back as a state of North Carolina gave back to these production companies was a fraction of the amount of money that they brought in and spent here on crew and on actors and on props and on all sorts of things. So there is no financial or artistic sense to getting rid of the film credit. It was an ideological decision that they made, and it bugs me.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, with that being said, let's going to move this around a little bit.
Sure.
What do you see as the future for Owen Daly in the film industry?
I'm going to keep on keeping on. I've done a couple SAG union films lately. I did one called Rowden's Roof. That and another SAG film I did recently was Youngsville, which is not out yet. Hopefully will be out soon. And I had a really good role in it. I was the evil preacher.
Oh, wow.
And I was up there doing fire and brimstone and telling them how they were the misfortunate ones. So I hope that comes out. But those kind of projects are basically what I'm looking forward to. My ambition again is to be a working actor, and so a working actor takes what comes.
Understood. If you could get a perfect role, what do you think it would be for you?
That's funny, because the first thing that hits my mind is that one of the realities of film and stage is that a lot of the roles you get are typed, because I look like I can put on a tweed jacket and look like a college professor. I can put on a white coat and look like a doctor. So those are the kind of roles that I do tend to get. The perfect role, I don't know.
Now, for somebody that would be new coming into the acting world, what kind of tools would you think are important that they need to have?
My first role when I got back into acting 7 or 8 years ago was from Craigslist. Somebody was looking for some actors to do some murder mysteries. So you can look almost anywhere, and I didn't need a resume to do that. But when I started getting serious and I said, okay, I want to spend some time, I want to do this well, I knew that I had to get a headshot, and I knew that I had to put a resume together. And a resume is an opportunity for you to write down for a producer or a director or somebody that's thinking about casting you what kind of things you've done. So they can see, A, that you've done some things, and B, the kind of things that you've done. So they can figure out what to do with you. And then the headshot is basically so they can see what you look like. And you don't go and get a glamour shot. You go and get a shot that looks like you, so that when you walk into the room, that's what you look like.
But not exactly a selfie either.
No. In fact, that's the trick, because it's got to look like you, but it's got to grab the viewer. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that the professional photographers will know that the selfie guys won't. And that is, you've got to get the light in the eyes, and you've got to catch that look where it's an appealing look to the camera. So yeah, you're right. It's not just the selfie. It's not just natural. You want one that looks like you on a really good day.
Well, guys, you have seen a lot of information today, and Mr. Owen Daly has given us some fantastic knowledge. And if you're trying to get into the acting industry, I hope you've learned a whole lot today. And we've had a great time being here on Halifax Farms, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. You have a great day.